There we go. All right, we're all good.
Alright. Alright. Yeah, no, I asked Ryan what he wanted played, and he was like, okay, here's a Tengu, which is basically like, you know those Japanese masks? Like the red Japanese
Oh, look, yeah,
masks
yeah.
with the long
With a
noses? Yeah,
Oh,
they're basically
cool.
like a demon, basically kind of like a tiefling at first. How you describe it as a tiefling at first sight, but then like they've actually got like leathery wings and red faces and like really like long noses. They're like the nose length is a matter of pride and honor
Ah,
amongst their people.
cool.
Okay, cool,
And like
cool.
average wise, they go around below the shoulders, like it goes down that kind of long. But
God.
Snub has been given that nickname because his nose only goes below his chin.
Ah, he's a short nose.
Yeah, he might have a bit of an inferiority complex.
Yeah, so we can make fun of it. Hey,
around
hey, look, it's all short nose coming up here, and
I
he's
don't
like,
know, man,
it's long, it's long.
Yeah.
May your
I'm sure.
nose cast a mighty shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm sure it's a hazard when going around corners too. Oh my goodness. Just whacking
what I-
someone.
Yeah, from what I understand, it mostly while the masks go out, I think these go down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so it's
Makes a little more sense.
a little less Pinocchio, more kind of like pterodactyl, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's right. Yeah.
What a wonderful sight to think of. All right.
I'm so
So
cold.
oh my goodness. Is it really cold for you over there?
I mean, for Australians, yes.
Yeah,
who
it's
grew
cold
up
for
in
Australia.
tropical Queensland.
Oh, it's
probably
10 degrees, so that's pretty cold.
Oh wow.
Well, 10
yeah,
for
oh my
10
goodness.
Celsius.
No, it's Celsius, so it's more like 25 degrees.
Well, that's still cold. That's freezing. Oh my goodness.
It
It's
is.
a nice.
It's 50.
50 degrees. Sorry, I
Because
just did a
40 is their zero.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
That explains 40 below. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 50 degrees, so not that cold.
That's pretty cold.
I mean, it's like an 86 right now. It's just gonna get hotter, especially throughout the week too. So it's not the best.
And look what 86 is. Oh yeah, 30.
All right.
Melbourne
30.
hits. Let me have a look. I feel like it's over 100.
Melbourne.
104 regularly.
Yeah.
In summer.
Wow. Yeah,
Well-
that's a stark difference.
Yeah. It goes up to like 110 sometimes too. It gets really hot.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, so can either of you give a good old gob, right?
Gob?
Right? Oh, is it gob or is it what was it again?
Gobby?
Gobby. Good
Oh
old
god,
gobby.
I think I know what you're doing, Brendan. Are we gonna give you
I don't
fucking?
think-
Are we
I
gonna
don't-
give you a sock? Get your freedom.
Oh, a dobby.
Call us
So good-
Gobby.
Okay. Can we give good old Gobby here a bit of a recap of what happened last? I know it's been a while since we actually got to play, but a general consensus from all of you would be very helpful.
So we got our badge numbers. We got some gear for a loadout. We got we met the rest of the squad. We were doing like a training exercise, I think. And we had to like go through this like almost no man's land kind of thing. There's a bunch of goblins that were all dead. Got some arcane bullets. What else was there? I'm pulling a blank. And then we pretty much were just like crawling through this no man's land and trying to like get through it as far as we can.
That's cool. Like, why are you guys in the no man's land? Like, what's the premise?
We were told that this particular part was for like an exercise. So like.
Okay. So are we part of like a military? Or
Oh yes.
or...
So it is a
Yeah.
military that operation that we are a part of.
All right. So I've been conscripted. Good.
A little bit more information on your mission. This was just like a basic exercise just to go into no man's land, see if you can handle yourself a bit. Not too far out, but there is a location on the other side of a majority of the no man's land, a little bit, say, west to where the enemy base is somewhat located. Not all the way in the enemy lines, but in the situation where you are supposed to capture, hold, and make that a fortified base of operations so that the rest of the team can move up in that situation.
Mm.
And you remember, you had two choices: either go through civilian territory or go through no man's land. Civilian territory will take you much longer. No man's land will take you less so, but it's a far more capable situation of catching a bullet.
Yeah, I do
Ew.
remember that. And then there was
I
also
remember that too. I wanted a safer option, but no hiding out with the civilians.
yeah, no, I remember that.
There's
Yeah.
So
no
we opted for
guarantee. Yeah, there's no guarantee that the civilians will take care of you. It is essentially war-torn country where the civilians are the
Yep.
cannon fodder of everything. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, so they're not very trusting.
yeah, and I was a sniper type, so I've been like doing the Overwatch for the team that was further in the grounds.
Mm. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. I just remembered, I'm like, that's right, it's like a World War kind of scenario,
Yeah,
fantasy
yeah.
scenario.
Right, right.
That's cool.
So
And
last thing I remember, we were in a ditch. There's a bunch of bodies around us. There was some weird machine off in the distance we couldn't get a clear look at. It made a loud, obnoxious noise.
Mm.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of wondering what comes next.
Yes.
Out of the pile of bodies comes like this long nose.
I was gonna say that right now. Like, how do you want to be introduced to the situation? Because wasn't it who didn't somebody throw a grenade at it, right?
Oh yeah, we
Oh.
did. There's a grenade straight at the thing. I was gonna say, like, is there like an objective or something that we're about to reach, and then he could be there, like either stranded or it's like a co-objective we've got.
Right, right. Let's just say for prosperity's sake that is it Gob, right? It's Gob, isn't it?
No, it's snub. Sorry, I was.
Snub.
I thought you. I thought you were trying to say an Australian slang.
Mm.
So that's. I'm like, no, it's
I'm-
Gobby. Why are you bringing this up? Like, no,
Um,
ignore.
Brendan, we
Sorry, I
just
didn't
put our
mean to.
character names on that, like in our nicknames, if you want to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Snub. That's why I said, like, would you prefer to be called like
Yeah.
your username, your actual name, or your character name?
Yeah.
Just so that everything's there for us. Snub. Good old
Yeah.
Snub. Awesome.
good old
So for prosperity's sake, let's just say that Snub has been somewhat stranded. He was another new recruit that was in between the rest of them and was sent to No Man's Land alone. He was sent with a sniper or with like a gunman, which you guys found where the grenade trigger trap was, which you had remember disarmed. So that was his teammate previously, but now he's just kind of somewhere deep within the fog. But I'm sure you most likely heard the massive explosion that was the grenade, and see the actual the fog kind of dissipate from that area as
yeah.
a kind of like bright reddish bloom exposed it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I like tentatively go over. You see coming out of the fog this like kind of like bird-like, bat-like creature, humanoid, kind of dressed in like a little like overcoat, like a little helmet tilted off the side. He's just there. In one hand, he's holding a small kind of doll that looks like a version of himself, but with a longer nose.
It's like a voodoo doll, like a,
Basically a voodoo doll of himself,
but like almost
quite roughly made.
It's but instead of like causing you harm, it's your well wishing to yourself.
Yeah.
I
It's a
take
really
aim because I don't realize what this is until I see the uniform.
Uh,
Don't shoot at us! Don't shoot at us! Please don't shoot at us!
I
I was
look
with
at.
the previous group. I think I'm the only survivor.
Am I at the outpost? Like, you know how we did stuff and then moved up and then did stuff and moved up. Am I still at the one prior back?
That still got me in his scopes. It's
That's
like, oh,
actually what I'm thinking.
I think you guys are all collectively in the one
Okay.
spot to where the where the trap was, because that's where you all gathered the grenades, and then that's when you said you searched out into the fog
Oh yes,
where you
yes.
saw the machine kind of
Oh, the
bouncing
whole
back and
thing.
forth.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so, yeah, you're right. I do have my gun pointed in your direction. Finger on the trigger, just like, what? This is. We didn't get told.
Is it really worth taking 2 lives?
And I turn to Licha, like, we didn't get told about an extra person. Do you want to just? Is he on our side?
I'm using you as cover because I'm so small.
Oh yeah, no, I've
And-
got the bad news pointed like directly at him. Just like,
Just describe
And
to
as
me,
he says,
a
you know, like,
just-
do you really want to take 2 lives? I'm like, as long as one of them is not mine, I'm fine with it.
yeah, no, why is there 2 of these things?
I have no clue what's going on here.
Yeah.
I was part of a scouting party, and they just there was landmines, there was enemy fire. I may have hid for tactical reasons.
Officer said we only had to cross
wait-
the gap. We didn't have to get anybody. Not part of our orders.
Would I have like identification papers of all?
Oh,
every
yeah.
Oh yeah,
gun?
so you have this essentially like this
Tags.
ornate wood carving, like kind of square thing with
So I'm
little
literally
rivets around it.
wearing-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
essentially like a dog tag almost, but a lot bigger to show your numbers.
See,
Oh, okay.
see?
I pull out 3 or 4 of them from bodies I've looted. Yeah, anyone can get those.
Yeah. What's your name?
I'm called Snub. Please don't avert your eyes. I'm not worthy.
Okay, he's a recruit. We're good.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy is not like an enemy.
He looks like
chief.
he's messed up a little bit and like he's just as worthless
Yeah.
as the rest of us. He's definitely recruit material.
Yeah, he's got that attitude nailed into him where he thinks he's lesser.
Find a
Typical
dolphin.
recruits.
Look at him. He's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look as he's groveling already.
Okay, we should take the shield along with us. I mean, other recruit.
Yeah, you good at standing in front of
I can
things and
grasp
pointing
it.
the way? You good at standing in front of stuff?
Can you guys describe to me who I'm looking at?
I'm
what race? What
I'm a sand dwarf, so pretty much just a dwarf that lives in a desert climate. And I very much am kitted out with a bad news. So like, just picture Jorvik, just like a huge gun, just sitting on this like stout short dwarf man, and he looks to be like he's got like papers that say like enforcer on it.
is he like an older dwarf or is he like young,
Yeah.
middle aged?
No, he's like older. I think he's older. I don't remember what I put. Anyway,
like
let's say he's
a really. Sorry, I'm just imagining like a really leathery tan.
yeah. No,
like, guy with
he's
maybe with
like
white hair
older.
or
He sounds a bit jaded, even though he's not really been in the military long. He's definitely got a lot of experience with the gun, but whether it's with the military or not is the other question.
Sure. Awesome.
And my
Linus.
character is very petite, 4 foot, around 4 foot tall, pixie, wings that almost scream shoot me, unfortunately, because they're
Yeah.
just bright, beautiful, vivid colors,
Yeah.
and very thorough when it comes to my clothing. You know, like make sure it's ironed, it's pressed, it's regulation, everything shined perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. Beautiful.
he looks over at you and we're like, I hope you're not part of or expecting a stealth team operation, because we don't exactly do that.
Sure. Well, it's really nice to meet you. My name's Snub.
Yeah.
I really like how short your noses are compared to mine. So
You have a
I
complex.
think this is
don't
gonna
you?
work out quite well. But just try not to look at it.
It's part of your face. But like, do I just
Yeah.
look at the eyes?
This one.
Well, okay. So,
Well, it's very lovely to meet you.
What's your s-
What were our orders? I believe we had
there's a
something we were.
there's like a machine in the background that we're scoping out. We killed some whatever these are, and he just like points around to like just the general dead bodies all around. Yeah, we killed some of these. What's your designation? Like, what's your
Great question.
what's your what they give you specialties?
Identification number.
Yeah, that.
So that's yeah. So that's gonna be
I'm
kind of
doing it
related
for
to like your class wise, right? So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
specifically does your class do? Like
Uh,
or what do you plan to
uh,
do with this class?
Yeah, well, I was given a homunculus, the warlock, which the doll ties into, and
Ah.
they basically get big bonuses to ranged spell attacks. But I basically kitted him out so that I think these classes that Ryan's made is basically is like an Eldritch Blast warlock on fucking steroids. So I've kitted him out so he like could push people away. So he's like,
I blast and I keep them away from us.
Are you like? Do you have a gun? A
Um,
rifle?
I don't need a gun.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gun,
I basically like
I'm like, this is my gun.
I'm just holding up my little doll.
Didn't you
I
call
think he's
that?
been on the sun too long.
He called that thing us earlier. So if it's also a gun, what are we getting into with this one?
Oh no, I went to that.
It's okay.
I wanted to say that most likely you're like a specialty sniper upon specialty snipers.
Mm,
I mean, you can have someone who can actually use a gun, who's a very
Yeah.
good shot, but if it's like takes no ammo, magically imbued,
yeah.
you're like 1 in a million kind of situation. You're still a new recruit, as in not
Yeah.
most likely didn't see too much actual action, but you're still in the situation that you're a valuable asset that we had
Yeah.
quote unquote sadly lost
I-
in the war. You will be missed, so on and so forth. Next people, please.
I turn around to Leech
You're
up.
like, you're useful.
Yeah, I turn around to Leech and I'm like, got another gun user, which means that you're the one scouting. We'll stay back and overwatch twice as much now.
Oh joy.
Yeah.
Me up front. I
Hey,
look forward to it.
you're good at it. You did a good last time.
Oh, I do want to mention that the goblin guy, I forget what exactly his specifics were, but he is still there essentially.
Oh,
He's
hey,
just kind of
man.
more or less in the background as of right
Yeah.
now. He's kind of just letting this all happen. Man of very few words.
Yeah,
He does say something. He just speaks his mind.
we got this goblin guy behind us, and he likes blowing stuff up. So,
He's our explosives expert.
yeah, no, I think his life is pretty short, and the expectancy on him is pretty bad with how many explosive he likes letting off. We'll see what
He
happens.
seemed very zealot to meet his maker.
Yeah, he was really had a death wish or something. Oh well, we'll find out what that
This
means
guy just
later.
standing here while you're
Yeah,
talking.
he's just kind of in the background. He's just letting it happen. He's like,
He's
"Hey,
like,
great,
you're
what-
right, I do.
He's just lighting matches in the background.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Snub. Don't look.
Linus.
No, I'm talking to the goblin.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
names. Yes.
yeah. No,
Hi, Linus.
I figured I hadn't done that yet.
Wonderful Pixie. What is your? Did you say your name?
Skyspire.
Sky Spire. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Also, I should mention that Tengu do have a flying speed,
Oh.
so they can also. So maybe think of him as like an aerial sniper.
Mhm.
I can understand that role.
Yeah.
Hmm. So what's our next objective? We have to check out this. We go crossing down here further. Then. Sounds like we didn't even know Gob was in the wreckage. We should tell someone about that, possibly. Or we could just keep going
Maybe
forward.
we should have the goblin scout ahead for us.
I agree. Let's send the goblin. He did a great job before.
3 steps.
He really did.
Yeah.
He nods in agreement. It's been what he's been doing this entire time mostly. So again, he gets on his belly and then slowly kind of moves forward on the ground, just in a general direction forward.
Yeah, I just overwatch and then keep an eye on him, see if there's anything coming.
You got one side, I got the other.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to move up with him?
No.
I'll keep a 6.
All right.
Rookie,
Um,
you're on.
right. So as Goblin moves forward, deeper and deeper into the fog, it kind of seems that he almost really disappears. You still have a general idea of where he is going, but the thickness of the fog has become a bigger issue than a majority of you expected. It's not so much that it's getting darker or anything. It's just, again, the thickness. It seems unnaturally thick in the situation. But while going forward and more forward, lining up your sniper shot and kind of watching around, making sure everything's up in line, you do see like this kind of glow. It seems like an artificial glow. It's quite high up in the sky. It's not like soaring above, but it seems to be a sign of some sort. It does look like it's not too far away. It could be a building, could be light fixtures, it could be anything in the situation, but it does seem like a very large, prominent sign that's meant to be seen from far away.
Hey, we got a glow up ahead. It's kind of
Well, as long as there's
fishy.
fog, I mean, I could, fly into the fog. As long as there's no visibility, that means no one can see me as well as I can't really see anything else.
Yeah, but we can't save you if you just disappear in there. I can't make a shot.
Well, no matter what, you couldn't make a shot. If there's this much fog, you wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah.
It's not really conducive to a sniper scenario.
Yeah, do I have any close range weapons?
I can disperse
I have
the
a
fog,
pistol.
maybe.
I pull out my pistol and just go close range encounters it is, and he just like starts like trudging forward a little bit.
Do we want to disperse the fog, or do we want to move with the fog in order to get out of this death trench and maybe get some more ground coverage?
Do you have a way to do that?
Well, I guess for you it'd be bipedal locomotion, but for me, I could just simply go above the ground. Heck, two of us can take to the air, stay close to the ground if necessary, avoiding potential landmines and still stay in the fog.
I don't like the idea of me being the one going first, but...
Well, I go fly first above the ground, not tripping any of the landmines while you follow behind.
Yeah, let's send the goblin in first, and... Sorry, what were you saying, Gob?
Good idea.
Linus, perhaps if you simply could fly like the rest of us, this would be easier.
If only I could fly.
I don't
It's
have
not
anything
his
to help.
fault. He's vertically challenged. He can't help it. We should try to enable him when it comes to his special situation.
Yes,
Put my hand on
you
Linus'
need to
shoulder.
adhere
I
with my
know what
needs.
it's like to be inferior.
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole rabbit hole there, isn't it? I think that's more than one
I don't know what
reference he's
you're
made to
talking
his
about.
nose already. Yeah, no, I can't fly. I'm barely magical.
I pull out like a book and I flip through it and I'm like,
No, nothing to help you in here yet.
That's all right. Hey, goblin guy, you're up.
He's still like crawling in the fog right
he's
now.
still going. Okay, can we see him?
Yeah, no, you can see him. You can
Oh.
kind of see his legs in the back.
He's still going.
Again, it looks like he's still crawling. Again, closer you are to the ground, less likely you are to be seen. But most likely in this kind of situation that you can tell that you're pretty safe, kind of just crouching, or
Yeah.
being of a shorter stature that you won't be seen. Making any like enormous movement or anything like very bright can cause an issue if somebody can see you from this situation.
I just turn to Linus and I'm like,
I will stay with you on the ground so you don't feel as bad about yourself.
I was
And we
thinking that too. In order to like not make him feel as bad, maybe I should stay close to the ground, even though I refuse to walk, but I'll stay beside you if it would make you feel better about your situation.
I would.
But perhaps
Yeah. I'd rather just not die first.
Shh, it's okay.
I start to like keep my distance, but I'm gonna follow the goblin as he's commando crawling. I'm gonna keep low, but I'm not like commando crawling myself. But yeah, like keep making sure that we're like trailing him on his like the little snail trail that he's leaving from his army crawl across the ground.
Right. You can see because it was like a kind of an overcast, rainy kind of situation before. It is thick mud going throughout this no man's land, and you can kind of see that the bottom is just kind of dragging around as if it is an actual snail trail going at that situation. But as you actually move up closer with the goblin, about 100 yards or so in that general direction, you actually get to meet up with some pavement, and then you get a very closer look to what this sign is, and it seems to be, it just says fuel on it.
Well,
Oh,
Is there any markings that tell us that the fuel is from a certain company, our side, their side?
It says fuel has some different kind of gauges, kind of high prices right now, especially since it's in no man's land. Um, Overall, it looks like it's just a basic kind of separately owned kind of establishment. Of course, they get the resources from wherever it comes in from, but it does not dictate to say, oh, we belong to this specific company. It's more or less, here's where you can get fuel if you need it. There you go.
It's an independent.
You actually get to see a fuel station, kind of like a gas station. It almost looks like a kind of a small, almost like a 7-Eleven or small convenience store kind of situation. But there are these very, very large, almost silo-esque fuel tanks that actually have holes in them, and you can see kind of pouring out into these very large, obscene puddles of gasoline kind of pouring out into the other sets of corpses and things. And there are actually bullet holes rushing throughout the entirety of the building, almost from every which angle, that there's just bullet holes all throughout the walls and other parts of, like, say, the ceiling and things. But the inside, regardless of its being intact or not, you must go inside to figure out a little bit more.
this looks like a kill box.
Makes me want a cigarette.
should we be worried about the explosive boy in this kind of situation? Will he
His
be able
eyes
to
just
control himself?
his eyes are just like glossed over, and he's just like, oh.
I think we should send in the goblin to investigate
Yeah.
and see if there's any goods that we could salvage.
Let's back up a little bit. If this is a gas station and he's explosive, then we should be out of the blast zone.
Ooh,
If he's explosive, maybe he should give us the explosives and then go and search. You
Yeah,
know?
that's a good idea. We can get some items this way for free. And
That's a terrible way of looking at our comrade that we value so deeply.
no, we definitely need the supplies because we don't want him to
Correct.
blow up.
I agree with you, and it would be valiant for this noble goblin to quest for these things and for us
Yeah.
to give him support and back him up, way back him up.
I got to him and I'm like, hey, what do you here? And I just give him my short sword. Be like, we're in a gas station. You can't just blow it up. We'll all die. So I'll trade for the short sword just for the explosives, at least for now.
He mulls it over for a second, then he actually makes a trade. Like,
Cool.
not yet. Not yet.
Like this bandolier of just bombs.
Yeah.
I'm like knapsack. Just like
And good noble goblin, if you see any cleaning supplies, I did get some mud on my boots. If you could retrieve that, it would be most wonderful.
He just walks into the thing. It looks like the actual front of the building. Again, you guys are moving back a bit, but you can kind of still watch them closely. It does look like the lights are still somewhat on inside the buildings, if not completely blown out by bullets and such. But you do see that there is kind of like a sign up on front. You can't really make out what it says from where you are, but you can visibly see that it makes him very, very angry. He gets to see it.
We get
Smash the hilt of the sword against the boards or what the sign is before busting into the front door of the gas station itself.
This is why I didn't want to give him explosives. He would have already died, or at least tried to
Maybe the
explode
sign-
something.
Maybe the sign said no exploding things, please. I don't know.
Yeah, he would do that.
Can you look with your special scope to see what the sign said that made him so angry?
Yeah. What does it
Oh, I
read?
like
Anything
that.
common or?
Yeah, it's in common. It says no. The part where he had busted, kind of hard to make out. It starts with a G, then it
Oh.
says skin.
I think it was Rain Racist. Because it said there's a G on there, and it says no G. He scratched it out. Probably says Goblin.
Well,
Oh.
I will never patronize this society or this gas station again,
I
and
don't
I will
think-
give them a very negative talking to when I get to a newspaper reporter.
I don't think it's going to be an issue, seeing as there's bullet holes, and this is in no man's land. I have a
But what if
feeling
they try to rebuild with bad business practices?
we'll take the sign down before we leave.
Just for prosperity's sake.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone else might get to
Just in
offended
case anyone
by this.
settles it,
Okay.
yeah. We'll destroy the
Um,
sign more. It's fine.
After a little while, it kind of gets a little bit more silent. You don't hear from him from a while. There's no explosions that go off. There's no loud bangs or anything. But then he kind of walks out with this large bundle of just knickknacks, items, magazines, bags of chips, different things like that. And he's like, "I'm over here." He's kind of waving his arms over here. He's like, "I found something good."
Whoa.
Hmm.
I'm going to flutter in his general direction.
Yeah, same.
I'm just gonna meander and call it.
I
Like, yeah.
I take off with my wings and then start going over, but it turns out I'm actually flying slower than I walk.
Really?
Yeah, the Tengu's fly speed is actually slower than their walking
Oh my
speed.
god, Brendan.
Oh my god.
He's so fucking useless.
But I have no sense that I'm going slower. I think I'm going like I'm
Is he like,
racing.
25 and then you got walking 30?
No, it's 30 walking, 20 flying.
Okay.
Wow. That's awful. But okay.
That's so funny.
Tengu
I
have
have
some like
15
cool other
feet.
bonuses. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets like puffed when he does it. He's like, like a breaststroke swim.
They're like very
Wait for
laboring.
me, I
like,
have to catch up.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so slow.
I have a flight speed of 15 feet.
Yeah. So,
oh, it's yours. Even slower. Yeah.
but that's because you're small. Like,
Yeah.
how big are you, Snub? Like, how you're almost like a full, like medium size.
Snub is medium sized, but he's about 5 foot tall, I think.
So you're the tallest person still.
Yeah, Tengu
Yes.
go about. That's right. Yeah, for some reason, like in my mind, Snub was like he's pretty like hollow. Like,
Yeah.
they've hollow bones as well, so he's quite a slight kind of guy. But yeah, apparently 4 to 5 feet, I think, is what Tengu generally get to in height. So he's like honest. Like I like the juxtaposition of him being on the taller side and bigger side of what a
He
Tengu
sure
is,
is.
but he's still got like
Yeah,
smaller nose.
You were the tallest member of the party, and the goblin, and me are like probably 3 to 4 feet area.
Just give me 1 second. The sun's getting crazy.
Yeah, no, I walk in. I walk in with the rest of everyone.
Right, when everyone
Yeah.
eventually gets there.
Eventually get
You do see that it has been mostly ransacked, not just completely like vandalized. It does look like people who have been here took what supplies that they wanted rather than needed, and then they like destroyed everything else. There's more or less like permanent rune sketch graffiti there. There's smashed open bottles and things, not just from bullets, but actually just from general disrespect to the establishment. But there are different like potential items that might be of interest. It just depends on what you're looking for. There are just like snacks there. There does look to be about some to be like a back room that he hasn't touched yet. But overall, there's just a main establishment area where you can grab your snacks or other necessities when going out, about to get your gas and move on your way.
We need a base of operations. This could be good.
This could work.
I don't think we should have a base of operation near a flaming pile of potential flaming pile of gasoline.
Hold on. We have a base. It's called the base, the military base.
Ah,
We have
the
a
base of operations. That makes
Yes.
sense.
That's why the dwarf is in charge. He's the big thinker out of the
Oh,
group.
I'm not in charge. I do
Such a
not
strong,
accept this.
big head.
I'm not being responsible for your untimely deaths.
We follow your orders, smart one.
No.
What you lack in flight, you make up for in brains.
I've got intelligence 12.
Uh,
Okay.
So
So
you are like the
Snub's-
smartest out of everyone here, mostly.
Oh, fuck.
Besides,
wait,
like,
what is my intelligence? 14. So
Yeah, you're technically smarter than me. You're just deferring.
but I'm so unconfident that I don't believe it.
Yeah. I'm so jaded.
we can't hear you.
Leechy,
I actually am pretty good in the intelligence. Sorry about that.
yeah.
Oh, that's all right. What's your
But we both
intelligence?
defer to him.
One moment, let me re-pull up the spreadsheet.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
In the background, the goblin is just going like ham on like a big bag of like beef jerky, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Can I do an investigation just to see?
17 for
Oh,
intelligence.
wow!
Oh wow, yeah. Maybe you should be investigating.
But all of you can investigate, and I'll give you all different
yeah.
items, like
Yeah, I
different
wanna-
ideas of what you're gonna go for.
Oh, that's not bad.
yeah. I want to
Uh,
look. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Matt?
Oh, I got 17 on my investigation.
Oh. Do you want us to roll for investigation or just look around?
Roll for investigation. If you guys want to look for something in particular, I'll tell you if you find it. If not, then I can just tell you what's generally around.
Snub would like to look around just as he's got like a book that he has that he keeps like spells in. He wants to like ritual spells in particular. So he's looking around for any kind of like piece of like magic that he might be able to find. Because it seems like a pretty like the world kind of is leaning more to an industrial side. So he keeps an eye out for anything that might be a bit more arcane.
All right.
Because he feels like a bit of a magical freak.
Okay.
Sometimes.
And
I want to check out the actual rune graffiti, see if I can make out any particular styles or what its kind of messages they're trying to leave, political leanings, all that good stuff.
I would say, let's see. We'll go for a history check for this particular like mismatch of ruins because it does look fairly familiar, but you can't exactly tell. But if you roll perhaps a history check, you can figure out what it actually says. Maybe something from your books that looks familiar.
What dice would you like me to roll for that?
D20. D20 plus your history. Let's roll the 1 there.
Nat 1.
That 1. Roll that 1.
If you guys can hear a dog barking in the background, let me know. I might put myself on mute.
No, I can't.
No, it's all right. Oh, you're all good. Oh, you got 12. I forgot we had that little bot thing there. Okay, so 12 plus what's your history?
Okay, so how do I figure that out?
It's if you are proficient in it, it's your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you have a character sheet with the numbers on it that you're working off of?
I do have a character sheet. I know my intelligence is 17.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing the history part or
so
whatever that would be.
There should be an area that's just called skills, and then it'll say like 17 different words with a number beside it.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
long
I
list
did
of
pencil in
different
2 of
things
those.
with like it'll start with acrobatics and then animal handling and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
alphabetical, so go down until you find history.
Yeah.
Right.
And it should have like a plus next to it.
If it'll be +3 unless you're
No,
proficient
I
in
didn't
it.
circle in history as one of my two things.
Okay, that means it'll be a +3.
I did go for investigation though.
Okay, so yeah, at level 1, your history is going to be +3, and then your investigation will be +5 when you roll for those.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's anywhere between a 17 and a 15, which is good enough, I have to say. So when
Okay.
looking over the ruins and such, you can tell that this is almost replicated of old political propaganda. Of course, wars build civilization. That's always the case for any situation. But it looks like this is kind of like old spewings of like what is to be believed by the old, not this current monarchies, but the previous monarchy's slogan of what is essentially we are all but one people standing for one cause. But it looks like there is emphasis on one people in the situation of the ruins written across. It does look like there are just written in different languages, so it seems to be a little bit more thought out than just somebody just writing down whatever. Oh, that sounds like a cool quote. I'll just write that down, or like carve that into whatever the wall is. But it seems to have a little bit more of substance than what seems to be compared to the regular vandalism on the rest of the store.
Almost makes me wish I had the ability to take a photograph just to save the artistic styling and the shadowing and all that stuff just for my own personal recollection. But I don't have that ability yet.
Yeah. There are cameras. There are cameras in this world.
Yeah, but I didn't think I had one to my inventory. So
I would highly doubt
it
that
is what it
the
is.
soldier would just, unless he's a reporter or
War
something.
correspondent
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Here we are at like the ruined church selfie, and then just go on with your day. I'm about to get shot.
Hashtag 3 people about the cap in the head. Jeez.
Four
Oh my
people.
Hashtag war crimes.
Oh no.
Hashtag
Let's go on to
questionable.
snub and questionable acts.
Yeah.
So snub, you're just kind of like going around, just milling about, right?
Yeah, I'm like
So
looking for anything useful, in particular magical, that I might be able to find. I did roll a
so
17, which my investigation is +5 at the moment, so 22.
right. So you do find a couple of like magazines,
Ooh.
not like weapon magazines, but actual like magazines, like reading articles and stuff. And one that speaks out to you the most is Mage Weekly.
Ooh.
So for Mage Weekly, they have a couple of different, just like gossip articles about the latest on the current political situation at the time when the store was open. Obviously, nobody's restocking these as of right now. But it has things like, the top 25 cantrips you must have for any new spellcaster, or oh, is your is your Eldritch Blast giving you erectile dysfunction? Learn today, and like that kind of different stuff. Just like kind of just blah blah blah. But
Best
there
spells around the
is
kitchen and stuff.
right how to make the best casserole by asking an Eldritch God or something, right?
Yeah.
But there is like this odd kind of placement where it seems to be more towards a younger audience, but there's these sort of cards, and these cards almost look like collectible cards. But when you pick one up, you can obviously tell that this has like a magical imbued arcane enchantments on it, and it says collect all 3 to get this spell. Essentially, you can see that
Oh.
there were 3 cards in there originally. You can kind of see the adhesive that stuck it to the actual magazine cover itself, but you can see that 2 of the cards are now missing, but there is only 1 now.
Hmm.
Do I get any? Do I have any indication of what the spell might be? Or...
It looks like something to do with either healing or light match. You can't really tell. The part that the magazine is still intact, that isn't either burnt, ripped, or just completely soaked in gasoline for whatever reason, or like just muck on it, seems to still be there. but it can be anywhere between being something to do with light or healing magic.
Interesting. Ah,
What is
if
it?
anyone finds one of these cards, let me know, please.
And I start like scrounging around to see if like any of the flipping through all the other magazines to see if I find any, like the other cards.
Can
But
I
I
have a
have a
look as well?
feeling they might be
You're just
in
kind
other
of
places.
flipping them open and shaking just to see if anything falls out.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I have a little
After a
looky?
little while, you do find a couple other ones, but it does seem like that one was left intact, and then the rest of the magazines that are there, there's only like 2 or 3 left.
Hmm.
The portion that would have the cards are completely ripped out. Like somebody purposely did the same thing as you, but took the portion of what they wanted with them and left.
Looks like this is your arc now.
Ah, I will find them.
You get some coupons.
I will collect them all.
Yeah.
Well, that also reminds me that somewhat behind the register, there are essentially lottery tickets that don't give you money, but actually give you a little bit of boost. Of course, it's an off chance that you won't get it because you have to pay money to actually do it.
Is it
But
like?
obviously, they're all
Is it like a
like-
how's it set up? Is it one of those little ticket
Like a
machines you
vending
can just
machine?
like pull the thing out of?
right. So it's essentially a small machine where it's locked by a code. You can obviously just break it open by brute force, but that may cause some issues if you're not careful.
All right.
But it seems like there's already one kind of left open to pull by a little kind of crank lever, but again, the code to put things in.
Can
And
I
then
use
once you
can I
pull
use
it
my
out,
tinkerer's tools to undo it and just pull the little scroll thing out, like just the whole roll of them?
yeah, sure thing. Roll for it. What did
Hell
we
yeah.
say? What it was? We
I'm not sure. Would it be like an intelligence-based thing, or would it be like a sleight of hand?
let's go with sleight of hand.
Okay,
I
and
think
then
I think that's kind of
am I adding proficiency on
familiar.
that?
yes, you are because you
sweet.
are actually using something that you're used to.
17.
17, right? So after a little bit of messing around and such, you open it up and then it goes, and all of them just kind of bounce out. You see, there's about anywhere between 50 to about 70 of these things, but again, you have to scratch them off in order to see, oh, I actually got something.
All right, scratch and sniff, guys, and I start handing them out.
And
Ooh.
you begin to hand them out. Can everyone roll, say, a d12 for me?
D12.
Yes, d12.
I
Hey,
got
there we go.
7.
7,
Oh, okay. Snub got 1.
1. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Let's see what we got here. 11. Okay. So let's go with the highest. So it was Linus who got 7.
I
What'd
got
you get?
7.
7, right? And then 11, and then okay. So for the 11 in particular, you get this kind of icy cold chill running across your entire body. It feels somewhat awkward at first as it kind of grabs onto you and holds you tight. But then you feel this sort of comfort, almost like a mint, kind of running over your entire body. And then you flip over the card that actually pulls it up and it says resistance to ice effects. So anything that is ice based, either magical or non magical, you are resistant against it.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
There's always one.
Okay. And then for the 7, you feel that this kind of odd taste in your mouth. It kind of feels numb, almost like a tongue. Your tongue kind of bloats a bit, and your cheeks are kind of, and you almost feel like your face is kind of almost drilling ever so slightly. But then you flip over your card and it says resistance to poison.
I mean, I don't like
So-
the taste, but I'll take it.
Right.
Hold on.
And what it says, like with the little asterisk, also works on all alcohol for immunity.
And he just says, I got a bum tab on this one. I'm already good against alcohol as a dwarf.
Right.
You're extra good. You guys are, oh, that's wonderful. I wonder what I'm going to get.
You pull it over, and it's like I don't feel anything.
Oh.
And then you read it, it's like kind of like a joke item almost, but it says, "Grow one portion of your body an inch longer for a day."
The nose! The nose!
And then it's ever so slightly longer.
Ah! Beautiful.
Oh, you want?
But when you
Go-
like run your hand across it, it's almost like an illusion that's actually there, that extra inch.
Huh.
Ah.
But it'll permanently stay there for the
Uh,
rest of the day, for 24 hours. After that, and that's the same for all your effects. After 24 hours, the effect wears off.
Normally, that's not
Yeah,
usually
I'm
what I
going
would
to
see
keep
people do with that one.
I'm going to keep a bunch of these cards.
I squirrel as many of them as I
Oh,
can.
yeah,
away
me
into my
too.
pack.
Yeah, I want to keep as many as I can. Just like
Right.
little pocket buffs.
Well, I've been in this place too long. I got to start looking for a broom and just start organizing the clutter into different piles.
So what I was rolling for the D10 is how many cards did you have to scratch off to get to one that actually did something.
Ah,
I see. Yeah.
So the higher the number, the worse one. The lower the number, the more likely they get more cards to do stuff with.
okay.
Okay.
So let's just say that there are, for prosperity's sake, about 50 that you spread
Yeah.
out to each of you.
Yeah.
So you could do the math
Oh,
from there.
what about the
Yeah.
goblin? Did
No,
the
he's
goblin
okay.
get anything?
Look, it's fine. Just don't tell him.
The goblin didn't want anything. He doesn't truly believe in magic
Yeah,
that much.
don't tell him about
It's
it.
like-
It's fine.
These are old
Oh, parlor.
these are old parlor tricks,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, I don't want this.
Right.
I don't want any of this.
Okay.
He's still like eating his stuff. You see him like grab an entire like salt packet about like this big, and he just downs it.
Ugh. I'm gonna go to the windows. I'm gonna like just poke my gun out and have a look around, just to make sure we're safe because we've been scratching lotto tickets for a while.
Right.
So-
After a while, you feel. You were saying?
Oh,
Snow?
so we've used 19. So if it was 11, 7, and 1. Yeah. Sorry.
So, kind of like after messing around about it, the inside a bit, you kind of look around, seeing if there's anyone nearby. The fog seems to come in large stacks and then kind of dissipate out again. But as of right now, it seems that it's a little bit more thinner than usual. You can see a little bit farther. You can't see, like, say, the glare of a sniper rifle scope or perhaps
Hmm.
marching of boots or anything around those lines. It seems fairly quiet.
Do we want to capitalize on this and move?
But this place is still disorganized.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not our job.
There is this door that hasn't been opened yet, too.
There's a
Oh,
there was
right.
a locked door in there.
Right. Also,
No.
Linus, you never told me what you were specifically looking for
Yeah.
your character. You rolled a 17, I believe.
I did. I was looking for stuff, but I mostly danger, places to hide, places where people could
What are you-
be.
Hey,
Like
what are you
sec-
looking for?
Yeah, like
Danger.
secrets of danger.
To avoid it.
And now that I know there's a locked door, a key.
Okay. So you
Can't
look
you just-
around. You can pick it if you want to, but you do find like this kind of corpse of a man. You can't tell if he's like a human, if he's a dwarf, if he's an elf, or whatever. And you can see his body is kind of crumbled up like this,
Mm,
and you see his entire outer layer of his flesh is completely singed
mm.
from what he is, and then he's kind of has his arms clasped with something in his chest cavity, almost as if in his dying kind of situation
Trying to
that he was in,
protect it.
that he protected and like pushed it, almost breaking into his chest cavity, doing so.
Can I get out a dagger and hold it like down like this? And with my other hand, I just want to like go, like, and if it fucking moves, just bring it down. Because it's very clearly
Right.
this thing's gonna be dead or supposed to be.
Right. And doing so, you see you can kind of see his fingers kind of move a bit, but you don't see that he's actually like doing anything to harm you. He looks like so badly injured that like even a fraction of breathing on him too hard would kill him. But he's in so much agonizing pain that he can't even express it.
Do you wish for death? I don't mean harm.
He right. All he can really do is that kind of gasping air situation.
We got a medic here. We got a down one.
Not really.
You actually have
Medic.
a medic?
Yeah, no, I don't
Yeah,
think I
we're
have
gonna
any healing abilities.
I'm so
I
sorry.
don't think the goblin had anything either.
Do we have any potions?
No, you don't actually.
We are definitely a
Oh, I
suicide
will-
squad.
All right. I want to pull
I will
out.
mention that there are like a couple of like medical kits. But they're like, oh, I scraped my knee
Yeah,
or like my elbow or something, and then like I have some gauze on it or something, right?
yeah.
There's nothing like, oh, this man is completely burned alive, and I need to apply magical force to him so that he doesn't have to deal with this anymore.
If I had
I
one
have
more,
1/3 of a card that might be able to help.
if I had one
But
more
I'm sure you
level in
can't.
training, I could do something. But I'm sorry, this is gonna be
We could try to
I
take him back to camp, but
through that.
Just dragging this man is
I
like.
don't think he's gonna
Hey,
survive.
have you
that.
guys ever watched the Hellboy movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
which
Ron
one?
Perlman one. The,
Right. Not the newer one, the older ones.
Yeah, Ron
yeah,
Perlman.
yeah.
Where it's like the guy he pulls out the corpse
Yeah.
from the gravestone and he's like just dragging him on his
Okay.
back
Yeah.
essentially. It's like
The Russian corpse.
I would kick your ass if I had legs kind of situation. But he's not in a good situation as of right now. You can't tell if he wants to get better or if he just wants to die. He just can't. Again, he's so badly burnt in the face as well that all facial expressions that he can express to you are undiscernible. They're just
Can I just make
almost
him
looking like
comfortable?
a burnt mannequin situation.
Yeah, can I just make him comfortable?
Make
Because
him
he's gonna he's dead. We can't save this guy.
How about you guys step outside and I'll handle this?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna old yeller the poor old bastard.
I've got my knife is already all right. I wanna. Can I do like a medicine check to like
he can
gauge
hear
it?
you, by the way. He can hear you guys
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about it.
Can I do a medicine check to like at least
Fortunately, I
make
just
sure
know
he's
common.
stable at the very least? Like, is he
Oh, yeah.
actively dying or is he kind of just burned up?
He is actively dying,
Mm.
but it's a situation that it's like death will not release him. It's almost unnatural how he's actually still existing in the situation.
Do an Arcana check on him to see if I can sense any kind of magic
Sure thing.
that might be keeping.
Oh, I don't want to use one of these bullets.
That is a natural one.
Oh boy.
You can tell that something is happening to him. Something that is not meant to be, that is kind of keeping him alive, but you can't tell anything past that.
Is he?
It kind of like
What do you
is weird.
feel?
I sense something is keeping him alive. Maybe rats have infested his corpse and are moving him like he's real or something.
Is he
We
like?
dealt with that situation already.
Does he look like any of the other corpses we had to shoot?
No, he does not.
Hmm.
Looks way different.
Can we
Worse
see
or
if
better?
does he have one of the tags that we're wearing on his
Yeah.
on himself at all?
All of his clothes are completely burned off. You cannot tell if this person is a man or female or anything else in between. He is so badly mangled that it's undiscernible of either side. If he was from one, you can't really tell.
Friend, what are you clutching?
Yes, show us. We will take up the mantle of what you are
Well,
protecting, I
hold.
guess.
No, I don't want to do it if it's gonna kill us. What do you?
Yeah, it might be explosive.
Yeah. Be careful. What are you holding?
Are you talking to the man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
Again, he can't really
can-
express.
he can
anything.
go like this.
He can't move his hands. He can barely move his fingers, like barely.
All right. I don't. I didn't want to do any of this. Go
A
on.
magic,
Stand back, Linus. I think
Okay.
I might be able to get something.
Sure.
a magical talony kind of claw hand comes like materializes as I cast Mage Hand,
Ah.
and it kind of like I go over and kind of like try and reach into his grasp to try and pull out what is clutching from him.
Like
If I-
underneath or so, or are you trying to like pull back his arms?
Or maybe I'll try and pull back an arm, like if that's possible.
Okay,
Like, to see.
one of his arms breaks off,
Hmm.
just snaps off, and you can see him still clutching at his.
Okay.
It's just like
It's okay.
Oh, wait, it's clutching the
soon as
thing
his-
now, like it's broken off, and oh.
no. His other it was this hand, and then it was this hand that's still there. But this hand right here is still clutching whatever it is. It looks fairly small. It almost looks like a small, kind of like wooden box. It looks like it's made out of a cherry wood or something. It's very nicely polished. It looks very almost like a jewelry box, almost a very small jewelry box. But the hand, as soon as it snaps off, it just dissipates into ash completely and falls onto the ground.
Did the guy react at all to
An
that?
idle hand situation.
He reacted like a big gasp, but that's about it.
I think he
I'm
was
so
already gonna use
sorry.
it.
I'd get the mage hand to try and move his other hand.
No, just remove the
Other one's
box.
gone.
Remove the box, not the hand.
Sorry.
Both of it. I mean, the box is still there, but both of his arms are now just
Oh
gone.
god.
It's like completely ripped up. And it's not like an even rip too. It was like
Oh,
across the side and then around the other side.
This is why we need a medic.
And when you do that, also, that like the open parts of the actual wound, more or less, there you can actually see blood kind of seeping out for only a few seconds before it almost cauterizes itself.
Should we
Wait,
should group huddle and I just like walk over? Should we
You
kill?
can actually
should
see his
we-
eyes kind of the sunken like blackness of his eyes. You can still kind of tell that they're following
darting
you while you
around.
walk away.
Okay, this guy's clearly alive, but I don't trust this.
I don't know if I could call this living.
Yeah,
You
at the
feel
very
like
least,
some
it's a
sort of
mercy kill.
trap or advanced weapon that he got caught in.
It just looks like he got burned.
But the way that blood flow stopped is
The-
definitely not natural.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The same thing. So should we just put a knife in him and be done? Mercy kill.
Could also
Yeah, I think so, but I'm interested in the box. The
Well,
little
we
cherry
can
wood.
we can do the box
I'm
straight
interested
after.
in what happened to him. I mean, if we take him back to headquarters, I know it's a bit of a trip, but
Ugh.
maybe they would be able to treat him, get some more intel.
Yeah.
If we
Do we have any way of like diving into his mind and talking telepathically to him?
I don't have spells yet.
No, that's probably a higher level kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm only level 1.
I can
I know, right?
message him, but
Can you respond
yeah,
back?
if he could
By the-
whisper.
By the way, I don't know if you guys remember, but the sergeant actually gave you a messaging stone
Oh!
that you can call upon him.
Ring, 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 ring.
He,
Ring,
You know,
ring.
he just picks up. Yep.
Hey, Sarge. We got a
Yes.
we got a live body here. It's got no hands, but when it was bleeding, it cauterized immediately. Didn't look natural.
Doesn't sound natural.
No. He's still alive. We've got no potions or healing. Can we request medic down here?
How far are you out?
I give him whatever
You
distance that we
snitched.
are.
Can't do. You guys need to hit the base, make sure that it's established, and carry on.
So are we leaving this guy?
Do what you must. And then he just hangs up.
Shit. He left the decision with us.
Uh-oh.
What did he say? What are medics coming or?
I don't think anyone's coming.
I just want to see what happens. I'll try not to hurt him any further, but
is the cherry wood box still on him?
Yeah, it's just
Or
like
is-
on top of. It's kind of just laying there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can use the mage hand to like pick it up and just move it off of him to see what happens.
Do so, nothing happens to him.
Okay.
it might not be related to the box. I can find out what the box is, but I need to touch it.
Yeah, no, take the box. I'll have words with our friend.
So, do you open the box, Snub?
Snub wants to. He mage hands the box away from the guy. And goes over into a corner away. He's like,
You deal with him. I'm gonna go do this over here.
Yeah,
and
Maybe the
Oh, sorry.
goblin should open the box?
yeah, the goblin should
Well-
open the box.
I sit in a thing and I'm like, I have my my little doll in my hand and I'm like,
Let's find out what's inside.
Oh, that's creepy.
and then I just touch it with one finger, and then as a ritual, I'm casting Identify to see if I
Ah.
can identify what's inside of it.
As he does that, can I just Ooh, go on?
I was just gonna say it's just a box. It looks like it could be a jewelry box or it's almost the size of a wedding ring kind of box,
Okay, yeah.
but there's nothing overwhelmingly magical coming off of it.
As he does that, because I think that takes a minute, right, for ritual.
It'll take 11 minutes.
Okay, in that 11 minutes, I want to go up to the guy and just kind of try and make him as comfortable as I can and be like, Sergeant, I just trail off. I'm so sorry. And I take my knife and I just like shove it slowly into the chest and like look away. Just hold it there until the movement
knife
stops.
almost gets squeezed as soon as it enters the actual body. He is still alive.
All right.
He is a pincushion, a living pincushion.
The knife isn't
Go for
going in
Buffy
and he's
rules.
not dying. Alright. Can I do? Yeah. So have we had an Arcana check?
Yeah.
A bad one.
Oh, okay.
He had in that one.
Now that I've put it in and it clearly didn't die, can I do an Arcana check?
Sure.
All right. Am I at? Oh, it's only +1. It's a 6.
It definitely looks like some sort of really bad curse or enchantment or something. Something is very unnatural about this, but you can kind of discern to what kind of school of magic if it is from one.
Okay, I think it's necromancy. I tried to kill him. I tried to, peaceful death, but it's like he gripped the blade when I put it in his heart. So he's not gonna die. Which actually could mean we could take him with us. He's not gonna die if he gets shot.
Are we sure it's not contagious?
Is it contagious? Do we think it's contagious?
We have no idea.
For 6, probably no idea.
I think it's unsanitary.
Yeah,
Are we
yeah, that's
leaving?
probably that's probably the best option right now. That's pretty really unsanitary to just carry around a corpse man
I
who's
wanna
half alive, half dead.
I wanna
as a shield.
load an. Oh, sorry, Brendan. What you saying?
Counterpoint. If he can't die, that means maybe he's safer staying here, and we can just get him on the way back.
What kind of life is that?
I mean, what kind of life is being pulled through no man's land?
I was gonna
What,
put
is
him
he
on
gonna
my.
use him as a bullet shield?
I was gonna put him on my back. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. I was gonna say I was gonna load an arcane bullet into my pistol and just chamber it, just in case it goes bad, and then just have that kind of handy in case anything goes bad if I'm carrying him.
So you wanted to prime your arcane bullet in a powder keg with a bunch of gasoline everywhere.
No, as in
Outside.
like for when we leave, if we
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If
So
we
you're not
take
gonna,
this
you're
guy
not gonna
with
throw
us.
him on your back right now.
No.
You're not just carrying him
I was
on your
just saying
back
if we
right
keep
now. Okay.
going, we can carry this. I can carry this guy, and then if shit goes bad, I'll just go real quick, and then be done with it.
If that is your wish,
Hey, that's on your back.
I mean,
And
you already
yeah.
can't fly, but yeah, it's not like it's gonna weigh you down much and prevent you from flying. So,
Look,
you know,
cool. I'd feel bad if we just left him here. It's in my training.
you are the smartest, most tactical one here. So I adhere to your genius.
Oh, that's such a low bar. Alright.
Well, you're
I
definitely
d-
probably the strongest.
I've only got strength 10.
oh,
My
strength eight.
my dex is through the roof. My strength is +0.
We're
I,
not
th-
strong.
I think the goblin might have a little bit stronger strength, but I highly doubt it in this situation.
10 for me as well.
Yeah. Well, you're
How
getting
the
closer
heck
to
am
me.
I the same strength as you? You're a dwarf for the
Well-
love of whatever deity you worship.
Well, I'm average for a dwarf, so you'd be average for a pixie.
Above average for a pixie, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
you beefcake.
Snub turns back, knowing that the box at least isn't magical. He opens it up to see what's inside.
You open it up, and there's a note laying on top. You pull over the note, and you see kind of written on the back, kind of opening of it. It says, "In loving memory of Samantha Greaves, a mother, a wife, a friend." And there's 2 wedding rings inside. And of course, there's the note.
Oh.
Oh, that's sad.
And I would have. The rings aren't like magical. Would I
No,
have
no,
gotten
they're
that
just
from
they're
looking
actual
at them?
just
Yeah,
wedding rings. They're very nicely done. They look kind of cheapish, but you
Yeah.
get what you get when you have a wedding. But would you like to read the note?
Yes, yeah. I will read them.
It says on the note, to anyone who reads this, and if there are any gods out there, please let them forgive me. I have sinned.
Uh, was this him? I'm sorry.
It's one of them. You can't tell.
Maybe we'll come across Samantha. Oh wait, maybe she's dead. Either way,
They're
I
interchange. It's Schrodinger's fiance.
Either way, I put the rings and the note back into the little box, and then I pocket the box, holding on to it in case anyone who is looking for it wants it back.
So that door.
Yeah.
Oh, was he behind the door, or no? Was he just?
No, no, no.
No, no,
he,
it's
was-
just
he
in
was
the-
kind of under. It was somewhat underneath the counter, kind of like in the corner.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the
A lot
gas
of his
station.
body mass has been reduced due to being essentially a very thin flesh burnt corpse.
So it is the groom. Alright, so. Sorry. Can we look at that door?
Sure. It is still locked.
Can I? My equipment. I have thieves' tools.
Sure.
Why do I have so many tools? I got smith, thieves, and tinkerer. I guess that makes sense.
Mechanic.
Sorry.
A mechanic boy.
I think it's just because I got given a lot of stuff as part of the class.
Also picked up some stuff from
Yeah.
from a couple of the corpses too.
16.
See? Yeah, you do so.
Right.
It's not a very hard lock. It's very, very basic. Nothing magical or innate about it again. And you just open it, and then you see that it's a back room. There is some storage back there. Again, it's a little bit messy. There are kind of bottles of alcohol and different things kind of pouring out onto the floor. The floor seems to be covered in a mixture of alcohols, gasolines, and different things. But there is a desk in the middle with a safe on top.
As in, like, someone's moved it there?
Yes, most likely.
Is it open?
No. You can see, quite obviously, that there are scratch marks. It looks like it was shot at a couple of times, but it does look like nothing really penetrated the actual safe itself.
And we got a safe in here. It looks like an office. Gasoline all over the floor. No one's lit it.
The safe has cards in it.
Yeah, okay. Can I unlock it?
Going up to it, kind of
Oh
Trot
boy.
it. Trotting through the gasoline and such, you do see that the light fixture is kind of blinking off and on. It's kind of hanging, but besides that, you can go up and kind of recognize that it does require a key to actually open.
Is it a small room?
Yes, it is a fairly small room. If anything, it's smaller because there are like
Stuff.
boxes of storage and different items.
Okay. Needs a key. Have a look, I guess.
Yeah, Snub's gonna start looking around for this key. He's like,
I need to find a key. Could be cards.
While you look kind of just around, I'm guessing like around the desk and such, you do see that there is this kind of small switchboard that has a knob that turns this way, with being like a white on one end and then coming into a large, thicker red, and then an off and on switch.
"Mm,
It's currently off as of right now.
I'm gonna keep a note of that first.
I flick it on."
Oh fuck.
You flick it up. Before you kind of hear this kind of rumbling around the entirety of the store. Before you hear almost like a turning that runs up, and then you hear music, and you actually get to hear what the radio is actually playing as of right now. And it's
Never
just
gonna
kind of
get
like
you.
some
Why?
yeah, some very basic unknowing like this radio songs that
Is it loud?
yes, it is
I
very
flick
loud.
the switch back off immediately. Don't give away a position.
Right. If anything, it's just like never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, and it's like really kind of loud music that's kind of blaring throughout the entire store, and that's why it's rumbling so much because my good lord, the store is barely holding up itself, and you see some actual light fixtures and different things kind of falling down and hitting the floor. But after you turn it off, it just turns off.
I just deducted that seems to be some kind of music switch.
Yeah, and we'd alert everyone around the area to our presence.
They could have thought it was thunder.
I don't think a rickroll is gonna be thunder. Some people
It's
say
Rick
The
it's,
rolling
scariest kind
thunder.
of weather.
some people say it's fire, but I don't
Yeah.
see it.
The scariest kind of
wasn't-
weather. A rickroll.
It wasn't a trap.
It wasn't a trap. It was
Uh,
a feature of the store for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, you want to unlock this thing?
I think. But we're in our rummaging. We just found that we didn't find like any sign of a key or anything.
Not in particular. If there is a key, it's with somebody, or it's just like very well hidden in the
Oh.
store.
Do you want me just to
Yeah.
pick the lock?
You can try. Like if you can. I have a feeling we need the key.
Why not? Can I try pick the lock?
Oh, for sure. You can always try.
Don't worry about it.
what you get?
It's a natural one.
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah.
More or less. Essentially, while
Oh,
you're
oh, the gasoline on the floor.
while you're messing around with it, they're actually as soon as you touch it, you can almost like recognize that you're using some sort of lock picking mechanism, and sparks start to shoot out, and you feel like this kind of intense shock rush through your body, almost just to paralyze you, and you feel that you take about let's
no.
say 5 points of damage.
5?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And as like you're kind of shocking and rolling back, you knock over the machine, the little music machine. It busts on the floor. Smoke starts to slowly spew from it, but then the music becomes even louder, almost deafening in the sense, as the Rickroll is just on repeat. Right. It's very loud.
I scramble over to the box and is it completely broken? There's no way to turn the knob off.
Checking around, it's just doesn't want to turn back off. But turning it over, you do see that there is a key taped to the back of the actual machine.
Oh.
I found a key.
I quickly scramble over and put it into the lock with my mage hand.
Right. You do so, it opens up, and you find a bag.
Is that it?
Get
We'd
the
set off
bag.
the alarm for
It's
a
like
bag.
a backpack or like a sack?
It's
Paper bag?
it kind of resembles a a chest made of like different fine leathers.
Okay, interesting. I open it.
Okay. Just give me 1 second, please.
It swallows.
Can I go try and cut some
It's
wires for
moving.
these speakers?
Oh yeah, you can do so.
I just want to go around and like try and cut any wires for any speakers that are around.
I need a sleight of hand with a disadvantage.
Me?
Yes, if you're gonna do so.
Fucking natural one again.
Oh my god.
Goddamn
They
disadvantage.
get louder.
I had a dirty 20
Boy, there's
and it was a
current
natural
still
one on
running through them.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
You somehow make it so loud that everyone takes 1d4 points of damage.
Oh god.
Just 1 point of damage, but your ears literally start to bleed from how loud it is. You feel that you're like, you start to get like almost like your sinuses getting cleared out from the ringing in your ears.
I don't feel so
And
good.
from cutting it again, you get electrocuted. You get another 5 points of damage.
I'm down.
Of you're down. Oh my god! You just get and then just fall.
I'm down.
Yes. Oh
Okay,
my god.
med pack.
Right. There are medikits like little first aid kits like kind of all around the store and such. But again, electricity
Two
kind of
nat
spewing
ones.
out of these wires. They are getting closer and closer to where the gas sling is. As the
fuck.
music just continuously blares.
I turn to Sky Spire and I'm like,
I thought he was the smart one.
Just unconscious.
Yeah, it's bad news bears. I will actually
Fucking two
send
nat ones in a
over
row, damn.
I will send over the information on the what's called the bag of safekeeping
ooh.
to the player who got it. To the player who may not have deserved it, but who got it. Yeah. Let me just do this really quick.
Step over his unconscious body.
Oh fuck.
Oh no, you were off with trying to disable speakers.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
went
corner.
cutting wires. You say I
No
roll well
electrical
all the time,
wires, no.
Brendan.
Yeah. You try and trying to do electrical work without turning the fuse box off first. So
Yeah.
what do you
Mhm.
expect?
Not an electrician, I'm a
It was
gunner.
bound to happen. There you go. That's the information there, and I'll let you read it up on
Thank you.
when you can. But yeah, it's getting very bad in the situation. It went from, oh, this is kind of okay. You see that the goblin is not like the noises at all. It seems
Yeah.
like he is getting the worst of the effect as of right now.
Yeah. Well, I can't do anything, so.
Yeah. you're down and out as of right now. Only had 10 hit points.
11, yeah. We're level 1.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and then everyone took 1 point, and then you took. Oh my goodness.
The most amount of health I could have would be 15, and that's if I had +5 con.
Right, right. I thought you had more.
I asked
No.
for, sorry.
It's still pretty bad.
I
Yeah.
might be.
I mean, getting electrocuted in real life can kill you almost instantly,
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
I took 2.
So I asked Ryan what level he wanted me to start at, and he's like, "Oh, it's like they're probably ahead of you, so I'll boost you up to 5." So I've
Oh.
been playing at level 5. Sorry, but if everyone's 1, I'll go
Oh my
back to
god,
1.
you're a beast.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we're 1.
Yeah.
yep. You guys are at hole 1.
Okay, I'll go back to 1. I technically should have had that identify ritual, which it didn't have because
I was wondering how you had something like that.
Yeah, it's like that's
It's like,
kind
is that
of
a racial? That's
oddly
fucking
high.
crazy.
But again, it's just a box. It was a jewelry box.
It didn't actually
that,
do anything
like,
functional. Yeah, I still have like basically everything I've done so far is something I could have done
Right,
at
yeah.
level 1.
fine.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, definitely my rolled HP is higher than it should have been. But
I'm like, yeah, Skyspeed, do you want to try and get him up? Do you have a health potion or something? Maybe we should get out of here soon.
Let's see if there's any med packs or anything to get him stabilized in the store.
As you guys are doing that, the goblin is, physically moving him farther and farther away from, the gas leakage because he was stepping in it and his boots are kind of trailing
Yeah.
off that kind of dissipated things.
Yeah.
And he's kind of quickly trying to pull him away from the
And
potential
also, there's all these
explosion.
now exposed wires that have been
Right.
freshly cut and gasoline and just beautiful, So yeah, let's get him stabilized and up so that we can get out of this potential powder keg.
Yeah, so we'll move out of the gasoline room,
Right.
help drag his body out.
How heavy are you, by the way?
Hey, we gotta drag him upstairs, don't we, and stuff.
Tense.
Oh boy. It says 115 plus
Okay.
67 in equipment, so 170, 180.
Almost 200 pounds,
Yeah, but nearly.
nearly. Yeah, it's gonna take a bit of work than just one goblin trying to pull him away to do so.
Mm.
Yeah, I definitely help.
I'll give moral support.
We-
You
all three
guys,
of us
you're
might be able
so
to help.
good. I mean, you.
Aren't you looking for like a medikit? Like you get one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna get one.
I'm totally looking for anything that can, smelling salts, band-aids, whatever I can get my hands on.
Right. Doing so, you just pull him and pull him and pull him. You do see that there is like a fire starting on the wall where you were trying to cut the wires. You see it kind of slowly increasing in size.
Mm.
Maybe I should also look for a fire extinguisher while I'm trying to find medipacks and whatnot.
There possibly could be one in the store.
Okay, 2 search things right now. Fire
Right.
extinguisher, medipack.
I'm going to need you to roll investigation to look for that fire extinguisher in particular. It may or may not have been already looted.
Is that a D20?
Yeah, D20. D20. That's a 2. Plus whatever you might have gotten. No. The only fire extinguisher you do find has been like kind of cut in half and then just, the inner just flumed out and kind of, already rotted on the floor.
Okay, how about for any med kits or anything to stabilize him?
You do find one. You do find one that's mostly intact that might be able to help you. It will stabilize him, but it won't like fully heal him. Should any magical healing or some resting should do.
Okay, boys, drag the dirt dwarf as quick as you can. Move it.
They help and they're trying to they're both grabbing him by the legs so that the gasoline doesn't drag on the floor to where they're going. Just moving outside, you do kind of hear the far out sound. Besides a Rick rolling in the background again, you do hear the far out sound of a vehicle coming your general direction. It does not seem to come from your side of where you came from the opposite side.
Oh, great. So now I have to worry about either trying to conceal him. There's nowhere close enough around the store that's a powder keg that can blow up to conceal him, to hide from a vehicle that may be a potential enemy vehicle. I got nothing. Okay, suggestions.
Oh, do either of you guys want to pull out the burnt man from the underneath the counter? Do you think that?
I think the burnt man will either be fine or be grateful for the fact that it ends.
Yeah.
I stabbed him. It didn't end there. I don't think he's gonna end.
Well, then he'll be fine. He'll be as fine as he is. I don't think.
Do you think the goblin would go back and get him or no?
He seems pretty much into self-preservation at this time, unless we give him specific
Yeah, the goblin was
orders.
freaking out trying to get me out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Maybe there's something in here that could help.
I reach into my new bag
Right.
with an action and anything out of it.
Right. I just have to read up on it. You do find some baking powder.
I don't think this'll help.
I put it back in.
Okay, it's back inside.
It was baking powder. Is that what you said?
Yeah, baking powder.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, that was all that was in there. Or could I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This one thing of baking powder. It looked like whoever kind of used this last uses this as like a grocery bag.
Yeah.
It looked like the baking powder was purposely left in there.
Cool.
Well, no, but I'll keep this.
And yeah. So where are we at the moment? Are we in the front of the store?
Right. You are still in the front of the store. You are, if anything were to happen, you are still definitely in the blast radius. Like moving towards like further on the back, you do notice that there are what seems to be a bike kind of leaned up against the actual building itself. As well as just give me one moment, please. Where'd it go? There's something else on the side of the building as well. Oh, and what seems to be a very rundown Jeep, somewhat hidden in the back, farther back of the actual building itself. Like
Ooh.
like if the owner of the building had parked it back there.
Yeah.
It does not look like in the best condition. Again, bullet holes, torn up. Perhaps maybe the tires may or may not be intact if you go check it out. But
I'll
there
go
are other
scout the
stuff.
Jeep. You two end up trying to drag him even closer to the Jeep. I'll see if it could start up. If not, it'd be great if we had someone who could hot wire it, which unfortunately would probably be the person with the tinker
If it even
tools, which is
runs,
currently
yeah.
out.
Yep.
So
That was
anyway,
exactly what I was
I'll
gonna
go
say.
check the Jeep.
Right. Okay. So as Snub and the Goblin are again pulling and pulling, you kind of fly and flutter over to where the Jeep is. Jeep has broken windows. It seems like one of the doors have been torn off to the sides. The back is just full to the brim with gas. Actually, it looks like there's like a big, large tanker of gas. Not like this, gasoline kind of pouring out and all that, but actually still a completely tanked, uh, uh, large kind of tankered of gas still there. And the tires, even though they are a bit scratched up, almost kind of like to the point where if you drive on like really, really rough terrain, they might, rip into two, but they still seem pretty intact for just basic transportation. Um, it looked like this was the case before the war happened, so it's just kind of poorly taken care of. But there are still bullet holes running throughout the entire thing. Do you want to try to start up the Jeep itself?
I do want to start up the Jeep, and you said that there's a gas kind of vehicle connected to the back of the Jeep.
No, there is. It's not like a huge Jeep. It's like a small kind of Rover kind of thing, but there is a tank, just a like a buggy big, this big of a tank, give or take. This
Oh,
big,
okay.
this big. Right.
Is there enough room to store the dwarf in the back?
Yeah, there's enough room for at least 6 people, 6 normal-sized people.
Okay, I'm going
in
to
the
try to
Jeep.
start up the vehicle.
Um, there is just a key kind of left in the ignition. Try to turn it on. It kind of rumbles to life, but it's not exactly there. It rumbles again, but not exactly there. It looks like this is going to take a little bit more time because it probably hasn't been messed around with for a little while.
I'm going to try to prime it, push on the pedals, all that stuff.
Right. Again, you kind of see the lights somewhat twinkle on a
You
bit.
stupid piece of
Right.
dren! Move already, you piece of
You
junk!
feel it move for a second, like push forward, and then it stops again, and then pushes forward just a little bit more, just enough to actually see the rest of your team kind of pulling out the
I'm
dwarf.
going to threaten it with a gun.
And then just like when it's about to give up, it finally kind of gives in, and you can hear it kind of guzzling a bit, and it's having a little bit of trouble, almost like if it was an asthmatic trying to breathe through smoke, but it's still technically on.
I'm going to meet the other members of my group halfway, or try to come to them rather than making them try to drag tons of fun to me.
Right. So as you do so, you're having a little bit of trouble with the wheel to the pedal because the distance is not exactly there. The distance isn't not all the way there. So you're having like
Is there any like golf club or anything I could kind of use to wedge the like accelerator?
yeah, there's like debris like right next to it, like from the building.
Yeah, I'm going to like try to pile it up kind of and use that as I'm stepping on a log or a board, to
Right. You do so. You kind of make a makeshift kind of booster seat to help you with the pedal and everything else. So you're kind of barely peeking over the wheel to see over the dashboard to move towards the rest of your team. You do see that the fire inside the building is very quickly, exponentially growing to something very dangerous very quickly.
Oh, she's gonna blow. Yeah. Well,
move it or lose it, boys.
Snub flings open the back door, and just tries to
Just
gets
tosses
in.
him.
Yeah, as best as we can. We toss old.
His
old
his legs are kind of hanging out. You like put him in the part where like the door has been ordered off because it would have been easier that way rather than trying to push the door open. And like you're essentially to the point where his legs are kind of dangling out, but it's fine for right now. He'll survive.
Yeah.
The main point is to get him out of the area. And
Yeah.
again, the fire is starting to get very, very intense. You can feel the heat kind of enveloping you. The goblin kind of sits in the back of the actual jeep itself, and just to make sure to watch the fireworks go off in a sense.
Floor it! Floor it!
Well, I'm definitely driving, but here's the question though, as I'm driving away. We have to be careful because there's still landmines and everything. So
Right.
if we stick to the road,
There is.
I mean that's clearly where they're going to mine. So which direction do you guys want me to go in? Clearly not towards the vehicle that's in the opposite direction of our camp.
Right. So how it was is that you guys were almost directly south. The enemy camp would be north. Where you need to be going would be northwest, about yay. And then if you just go, just across, then you can do that too. You can either go towards any direction you want to, but I'm just saying for where you guys are. So if you wanted to, say you're here, the gas station's right here. If you're moving down this way, you're going back.
Is there any other buildings around here?
There
Anything
are
where I
just
could sorry.
you can see some like shacks and stuff. Like they're basic storage and things, but it looks like a fairly on like non-populated area where you are. Again, this is almost like completely flat land. If there were buildings here, they're long gone.
Well, I guess I'm going to go in the direction that our mission objective requires.
Northwest.
Northwest. All right. So as you do so, and as you like kind of turn around to make sure that you're going in the right direction, the car slowly comes down to a stop for a second.
I pull out the gun again. I thought we had an agreement here.
Start to like whack out the top of it, and then it kind of jumbles back up to life, and like it's almost like an old school jalopy where the bumpiness of the ride is very bad, and you can feel like every last kind of bounce of the situation. The dwarf is just completely knocked out in the back.
Yeah, I'm just I'm
not really
stout.
caring too much.
Nicholas isn't
You're
helping. Just banging his head against the fucking.
right. You're
Oh.
trying to hold on to him so that he doesn't fall all the way out of the jeep itself because it's so bouncy. And as you do so, you see that the fire is slowly reaching almost all the portions of the gasoline and fuel tanks all at once, and it's what I have to say a beautiful sight. It looks like the sun had just opened up all at once and completely blinded you with the pure intensity of the explosion. I need everyone, um, besides, of course, Linus, because you're knocked out right now, to make a dexterity saving throw for me. So I'll roll for the goblin too. Oh, that's not good.
Okay, that wasn't as bad as it could have been. Snub got 16.
16.
+1 to Dex.
All right.
Oh.
Sorry, I got off the page. Give me a second.
No problem. I can tell you what the goblin got.
What?
You got a 1.
Ah, no.
Yep. It's not good.
Oh no, my hit points just I just saw them 8. Just-
Oh, you know what? For what I have
Whoop.
planned for you for Linus, I will roll something really quick. Yeah, no, okay.
You're extra unconscious.
Extra unconscious. You wake up for a second because the explosion's so loud. It's like, what was that? Then bang. No, I have something else
I
in
lost the
mind.
dice roll page. Where'd it go?
So are you using D&D Beyond or something else?
No, there was a dice roll page on one of the
Oh.
menus for this.
Oh,
Dis-
it's
Discord?
dice. It's just called dice rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Dungeons and Dragons. So you might have to click on the Dungeons and Dragons like title again.
Oh,
Yeah.
found it. Thank you.
Oh wow, not bad, not bad. Okay, so what happens is that boom, a large, intense explosion envelops almost in like consumes the back of the car as it implodes once more. Explosions coming from left or right, fuel and fire is launching from the actual. It looks like almost if a volcano has erupted. It lights up the entire area. You can actually almost see Jeep not too far away from you. Then you see the shrapnel coming um, from the actual place itself. So, can you tell me your rolls once more again? I know what the goblin got.
I got an 18.
18,
16.
16, and a 1. So both of you are fine. You get like a little bit singed, but nothing too bad. You know, shrapnel blasting throughout the car windows and things, almost knocking the car over. Then this large hunk of metal comes flying directly at the goblin's face, piercing it completely, ripping into its head. The goblin's whole entire body goes limp for just a second, then smashes into the back window, and the pure force of the actual impact of the goblin to the machine flips the Jeep over and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls onto the yeah, onto the side of the road, almost into a jits like area, before it kind of finally comes to a halt upside down.
No, I thought he was going to live out longer than the rest of us.
Oh,
Who could have
no.
seen this coming? Why, dear God? Why?
Linus is fine. He's fine. He was in the situation that I was rolling. He was kind of just rolling with because how you were positioned in the vehicle itself. You were kind of just like hugged the corner a bit until it kind of fell over, and then you just fell off. It didn't cause any bodily harm to you. You are completely fine. I mean, you are still unconscious and out, but you are stable, I have to say, and you are still good enough to actually come back from this. You won't die from this situation. None of you will die, actually, besides the poor goblin who, when like kind of from this groggy situation, it's been a couple hours now since this happened. All of you knocked out completely. The pure impact of the situation, complete knocking all of you out. And coming to after a few hours, Linus, you're back to a few hit points if you want to roll for that. But you see that his half of his body for the goblin is in the front, and the other half is in the back, while the rest of what is left in between is from the back window to the front. Again, with the actual large piece of metal kind of launched, almost ripping in half the car as well.
Oh.
So
All
I'll
right.
leave it at that for this session.
I'll give the car
I'm
a salute.
alive.
Ah!
Right.
You end the scene of Snub frantically looking for his doll. He's like lost it in the fray. He's like,
Oh,
Right.
what happened?
So like as you see that everything else, the tank from the back is also gone. You don't have no idea where it went. It probably flew off from where you guys were. But you are far away from where you are. Your cardinal directions are all over the place, and it's starting to become nightfall as well.
ooh. So we're car wrecked, injured in the middle of nowhere as night's
Right.
starting to fall. Is there still a lot of fog around?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Well, that's something.
Again, that's why you can't really tell. Not only are you disoriented from the crash,
Yeah.
but overall you can't really tell which is where.
Yeah.
You can tell that you are in the ditch.
I'm
Yeah.
going to try to turn the shrapnel into a little bit of a makeshift shelter so that the dwarf can, stabilize a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Until then, I'll say we'll call it here for now, because I know that we're almost on what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
That was a good one
yeah.
though.
that was
Right?
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to
Yeah.
play like for a good amount of
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Right. See, it's much fun, much more like interesting when you have all these different people's input
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, but
that was good.
yeah, how do you guys like it?
Yeah, the setting's
Yeah.
great. I like the
Alright.
setting a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Really well set.
I would like to. I think I want to try and like use my class features, but we just haven't reached an area where it comes into play yet. So,
Right.
What are your class features?
I've got like diffusion, so like I like a peacekeeper negotiator type.
Okay, yeah.
And then
I
I
thought
can
it was going to
also
be like a bomb de-rigging skill, and I'm like,
It's
well,
kind of what he's grown into with all the bloody tool choices, and then he's got lots of like he's got to have firearms and guns. No, he's literally he can like lock down people and but also talk to them, talk down. But
yeah.
it looks like I can disarm
it's a
people.
negotiator.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Well,
that's
from
cool.
what I understand from my skills, it's pretty much my only main ability to start off with is aim or whatever. So not really much to work with right now.
Mm.
Yeah, mine homunculus gives me like some tasty bonuses to everything. As long as I use my doll as a spell casting focus.
Cool.
So I think if I ever lose him, like I think I can resummon him. I'm technically carrying around a dollhouse for him as well.
Aww. It's like a
Yeah.
little Thailand spirit house.
Yeah, 100% that. That was what I
Oh,
was imagining.
cool.
It's like this little hut. It has to be like big enough for him standing up, but he's like not very big, so
Right.
it's just kind of sitting at my waist. I do have mending as a cantrip. Oh no, I don't at the moment. I'm going to take mending as a cantrip.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Um.
can fix it if it ever breaks.
Yeah, but in the situation that you just recovered from, not too bad. Only one of your party was brutally
Brutally
well,
killed.
not even murdered, just completely. I don't even know what the word is to describe someone getting
Yeah,
torn like that.
series of obliterated.
And we turned our back on a civilian.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that reminds me. Wait, well, I need to do something really quick. You hear like almost like a screaming before a thud hits the top of the vehicle, and then you see the corpse of the guy land not too far away from you guys.
Are you okay?
He was up in the air for a very long time.
That's straight up nightmare fuel. What the? No.
He's so
Why?
weak.
still about, but you actually get to see his like arms, like from where they were cut. They're actually starting to grow back just a wee bit, a wee bit.
Oh, I see.
Oh, great. We're dealing with some Deadpool shit.
Has anyone checked his mouth to see if he's like a vampire or something?
Maybe next
Maybe
week
next week.
or week after
Yeah.
next.
Next time for
Yeah,
sure.
awesome.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This was actually really good. I'm glad we could actually do something like this. Was
Mm.
interesting.
Very good.
In terms of schedule, what are we looking at next? So 28th
Right.
or 21st?
I
Oh, sorry,
believe
27th for you.
Right. I
Put it in my
believe so.
ditties.
These. That should be good for me. Yeah, the 27th for me. Yeah, but if you guys are available, if that's not an issue, I know that for you, for some of you that you may not be able to do every other week, and again, that's the same for Ryan because he also has to dish out what he needs to too. But for sure, the 27th and the 28th for you guys, that should be good.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm down.
All
I'm
right,
definitely free.
28 sounds good. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to stop this recording real quick.